Hello, hello! Welcome to the show. Psyche back here with another adventure in Minecraft, and today we are talking about what happened while we went to the end. I'm going to show some highlights about that in a little bit here, but first I wanted to show you a couple of things. This is the temporary pathway that I made from the Nether hub all the way over to my mountain. Got it all in place and figured out what I want to do. I also added in a podzol quarry, which we'll go take a look at in here in just a second. But as you can see, there's got to be some stuff that needs to be taken care of so we don't get attacked by stuff here in the Nether and get hit. I also make it a little bit safer and don't fall in to the lava as easy or anything like that. We'll work on that in a future update. I already have some idea, or a future video. I already have some ideas of what I want to do with that. Head over this way. As you can see, I got a compass in my inventory there. Or not a compass, a clock. I got that from unlocking the mending guy. He was almost all the way locked up. I was certain I just screwed up and locked the mending villager up. I was going to be so upset. Okay, so talked about this quarry area here. I made this because I wanted to make sure everybody had a place to get stuff. But I had an idea in place. I kind of wanted to keep it away from where I am, which is more or less that direction for the mountain. Right here. Help me keep it clean. Plant a grass block and make it green. Essentially, I silk touched a little bit of grass there. And as I've taken out the podzol, I put in grass blocks back in so that it grows back as grass. I also, which I missed one right there, need to fix that. Kept a couple of the trees in place, but this is a good place to come and just get a whole bunch of wood as well, because it's fairly tight quarters as far as how many spruce trees are here, and the 2x2 spruce trees, man, it's a crap ton of wood that comes off of them. So I want to put some sort of border in place. I make this makeshift kind of worn down cobbly fence line along with the spruce logs. I didn't spend a whole bunch of effort or time in gathering hard to find resources or anything like that to do it. I wanted something that was fairly simple to create, and along with that tied in well with the area. I feel like I could have staggered this line a little bit more to make it look a bit cooler, but at the same time it was just something to get done, get it done quickly. I also went through and did a pathway, if you will, 3 blocks out, and already had the grass blocks put down in place. As you can see, it's all grown in, and you can just kind of add to that from there. And then the fence does stop right up here, but if I need to come back in and extend this further on down, I will. I think the basic gist is in place. But I am going to need this stuff here for a project, and since there's quite a bit of it in the area, I'm going to go ahead and dig some of this up while I talk about a few things to introduce the clips you're about to see from the trip to the end. Essentially, if you have not been following this server playthrough from the beginning, one of the things that I talked about was some of the game rules we wanted to put into place, and one of them was to have the Elytra drop when the dragon was killed. This was something that we saw done on the Hermitcraft server originally, and thought it was a pretty good idea, being as how difficult they are to get and how many people that are on here. There's the 4 derps, of course, and then there's also my son and my nephew, Typoto, and so we wanted to make sure everybody had the ability to get Elytra wings. Well, long story short, we killed the dragon the first time, and lo and behold, the Elytra wings didn't drop. Then Waterbear says, no, we need to pick them up from the overworld. So we went to spawn, which in this case is 00. I set it there myself, so I know exactly where it was, and check if they're there. We even put down some hoppers to try to catch it. XP went through the portal in that location, so we know that's the location that it drops via the XP going through the end portal and showing up there. Still nothing. So we have the situation where obviously we're not going to be getting the elytra wings dropped from the Ender Dragon. Went ahead and did a little bit of research on it, see if we had to change the command block or anything like that. Come to a conclusion based off of other comments and information we found is that it just plain and simply does not work. I don't know why it's not working. I don't know what is causing it to not work. I am on Realms thing, so I know that it's different, but something tells me they changed something between 1.9 and 1.11 also that maybe makes it different or not work for Realms. I don't know. I'm sure there's a way to make it work, but not being savvy on the Realm or the command blocks or programming of any kind, I am not going to personally try to figure out how to change that. I am not technically savvy enough in that department to make that work. If a thing had popped up in search that would be a simple me copy and paste command type of deal, no problem doing that, but we didn't find an alternative. So we're just going to go ahead and roll with the old concept of if you get elytra wings and you make it back to the overworld and then subsequently die or lose them via some reason or another, that I will cheat in a pair to give you back your elytra wings. Once you receive them legitimately via a boat, you will be able to get another pair to replace them if something happens to them. It's only fair because they're so hard to get, and with so many of us on, it's going to be fairly far out. We're going to have to go to find them as time goes on. Not saying that you won't, especially if you're going to be out looking for shulker shells to have shulker boxes and stuff like that. But that's what we decided to do. So that is pretty much all we need to say to introduce the clips of us messing around. And this is basically us messing around, killing the dragon multiple times to get multiple portals up, and then my run to find some shulker shells and hopefully find elytra wings. Hopefully you guys enjoy it.
There's the caged one still. Here,
Whoa! Whoa!
Stop giving me your breath.
So are we gonna get elytra this time?
Probably not.
My arrow's going anywhere near her. I can't tell. I have a pumpkin on my head. Is she spinning fireballs?
Kinda.
She does that.
That's new, isn't it?
They're kind of like the gas balls.
You can't shoot them with arrows, can you?
Oop. Ball coming in. Let go. Ball coming in. She likes shooting him. No, you cannot, Rain.
Shulkers?
No, the... Oh, I thought you were talking about the Dragon Balls.
No.
Did I hit her? I hit her.
Going over there.
I think I'm hitting her.
Oh yeah!
Nice job, I hear it. I hear it all the way over here.
So, do we have 2 dragons?
There'll be 2 portals that'll pop up.
We're just making multiple portals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot she dropped 6
There it is.
Not
It's
as
over
much.
there.
Yeah, it's less every time. I've never seen this part before.
Oh!
She was all the way up in the cage.
How'd you blow up?
She was up in the cage.
Oh my
Jerks. Didn't tell me it was gonna blow up while I was up there.
I didn't know it was going to. I would have
I
said
didn't
something.
either.
Water Bear says, "Okay, go up there again." That's my stuff, no.
Probably up in the cage.
Yeah.
That's great.
Stop dropping this shit on me, you stupid dragon.
When you
Uh-oh,
when you
sure.
get your screen, let me know and I can help you get your stuff.
Pop goes the water bear.
I didn't.
Whoa!
Holy
How the
cow.
heck did I die?
You
Okay, I
got killed by
can't get
Enderman.
anything. All my stuff is up.
We'll
I have
go
no
up there and get it.
blocks.
What happened?
Alright, now she's not perched. Now
Oh,
hit her with
damn!
Stop with the shit, lady.
Gotta hit her in the JJ.
There we go.
Yup. Alright, Scree, I need that wood, please.
I can make it.
Control. There we go.
Can I do it? No, I have to.
Here, I go.
Have to do it at a
I
fucking
didn't get it.
bench.
Enough pearls for another one.
I have 4 on me.
Got it.
Where do you put them?
Center of the 4 cardinals. On the bedrock.
Center of the Ford Cardinals. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Cardinal
Ford
Research?
Cardinals. Is that like a new car, the Ford Cardinal?
Yes.
You're a turkey.
So here, look. Yeah. Why do you always shoot at me, lady?
Because you do so much damage. You're the biggest threat, Water Bear. It's a
Is that what it is?
Puff up his ego much.
Hey, I gotta make him feel good about himself.
Somehow.
His football team certainly isn't going to do it for
That goes
him.
big on me.
Oh, snap.
Are we killing the dragon again?
Yep, dragon,
Yeah.
dragon on point. It's about
more
to,
after
about to
this
go
one.
up.
Where's my head? Alright.
And she's shooting at me again already.
No, took one right to the face right as we started.
It's just me, or did this fight actually get easier?
I think it's easier. It was a lot longer with the bow only.
Because now that she just sits here and you can just wail on her.
Yeah. I think it's easier.
Yeah, I'm down to like 4 hearts. I should probably back off for a minute. I only have 3 potatoes left.
Yeah, I definitely want to regen.
Bye-bye!
Hey,
Go.
damn it! Stupid Enderman.
Oh, I found a big hole.
That's, I think, where you might have come up from.
There's 10
Thank you, darling.
porks for you.
Should I put them in my shulker box?
Shut it!
Hey, I didn't get the first elytra, but this is like the first time I've gotten the first anything.
There you go.
So, you know, when you play with Water Bear, you take what you can get.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
I mean,
We
you
love
take
Water Bear.
everything. Man,
You okay, Scree?
Well, no, she's
fine.
Well, no, she's dead.
dead. I mean,
Hello, Captain
it's
Obvious.
not very okay when you think about it, really. I want EXP.
Down for the count.
Got plenty. Somebody's
Alright, one
go get all
more.
the EXPs.
Where's all the stuff?
It'll fall in a second. There's not going to be very much of it, though.
See the stuff.
Allie, I
Alright.
found a hole. Who made this hole?
It sort of sounds like somebody's.
Woohoo!
Somebody's like,
Taste from heaven. Woohoo! All right. Thank you guys for putting up with the lack thereof elytra. We'll have to get them the old-fashioned way, I guess.
Spam them?
Spam them, yeah. Water Bear's already picked his portal. He went through it and is gone, never to be seen again. As he goes off to be the first to get elytra.
Which one did he go through?
One of the
Stealing
ones
all
that-
the things.
Basically, the opposite of the way you went.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. He pillared up to it. I was like, right,
Yep.
where?
Like,
That's
and he's gone.
I'm gonna head off in between you guys and take one of the ones that is to the
Did I go, like, directly opposite of Rain?
and I'm gonna take a cardinal direction as well.
Am I not allowed to take
That's
the
what I did.
portal?
I just took that one because it was a
And
cardinal.
nobody
One
took the
portal?
one that's hanging over the thing.
Why would we? That's yours.
I'll take that
I
one.
get melons. You already
Already
had
had
one.
yours.
Wow.
Screech saying you don't get
Vicious.
another one.
Vicious.
Going home. Screw you guys.
Are you guys going home? Oh, forgot about that end music.
Alright. Let's see what I find. Woohoo! Berries!
Berries?
Yeah,
Chorus.
horse root.
Oh. Why aren't you saying fruit?
We should
Oh,
probably
man,
take the
there's a
shield.
guest. Dang it. Where you at, son?
My direction did have a base at least, so
Did
let
it?
that going for me. Yeah.
There's a boat. Found a boat.
Gee, there's a surprise.
Wow. Water Bear found the first boat. I never would
Funny.
have
Oh,
guessed.
now the end city's loading. I was gonna say the funny thing is I don't see the city. I saw the boat before I saw the building. Yay!
Yeah.
Now, if I hit him with a looting sword, does that potentially give me more? Does anybody know?
I believe so.
you,
That's why I brought my looting sword with me.
Well, I'm not gonna take the chance. I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. So far I've killed 2 and not gotten any.
That's the problem when I teleported with a fruit. I don't know where this other shell's at. There it is.
Dang it! Where was he? Ah, I'm screwed now. I'm getting battered around like freaking King Kong here. I don't know what that means. Don't ask me. Just go with it, Scree. Just go with it. Oh, I found a chest.
There's another one. Alright, I'm at 8.
Oh, crap. Come on now. No. Oh, I don't even have it on my bar.
Where are you shooting me from?
Okay, let me drop. Let me drop. Thank you. Let's open this up. Oh, free ender chests. That's cool.
And don't forget you can break the things that they shoot at you with your sword.
Mending, protection 4, and breaking 3 helmet.
Nice.
nice. Iron or diamond?
Diamond.
Nice.
Can you shoot the shulker shells?
The shulker
Yes.
boxes? Yes, you can.
Yes, as long as they're open.
Okay. Come on. Are you open? Nope. Because there's one over here that's going to be problematic. He's going to
Don't
fire.
forget you can hit them.
That's right. I got to remember that. So if I hear him, then I need to turn around.
It's good to know as a parent. It's good to know as a gamer.
I don't know if I want to try to fly back home.
I'm going to laugh so hard if you lose your Elytra like 5 seconds after you got them.
But you'll just spawn another pair in for him.
No, I won't. He's got to make it into the world before I allow him to have a free set of Elytra.
That dang Tyler.
That would be a very long way to pillar over.
You know what? Screw it. I'm going to use this as a way to get over to the boat.
Don't forget your interpearls.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Oh, brought me down. Woohoo! Perfect. Alright, I'm in. Go ahead and take that.
Yeah, you can also take your helmet off now, probably.
I don't have my other one on me, so I'll just... Hope I didn't lose it.
Ah, diamonds. The diamonds that Tyler didn't find.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Elytra achieved! So as you can see, we had a pretty good time there in the end, doing some stuff and things. Opened a lot of portals by killing the dragon over and over again to make that easy to get the supplies we wanted. And this is kind of what I came back with. Nothing too spectacular. Didn't find any more chests or anything like that. I essentially just went out there and wanted to get the few things that there should be something else. Here it is. Yeah, that essentially was the important stuff. So I got the elytra. I already put my unbreaking mending book on it, and I got a dragon head, and we got a couple of chorus flowers to bring back so we can get more fruit. And then I just kept a few miscellaneous blocks and some ender pearls, and those things will all tie in to it. But now that we have these, the shulker shells, we can make shulker boxes. And I wanted to figure out exactly how I wanted to do that. To me, the ultimate is knowing that you can have an ender chest and have shulker boxes in the ender chest. So I want to essentially be able to bring my inventory or my storage with me. I don't have to bring everything. I just want to be able to bring a good amount. So that means that anything that I'm potentially doing, I can have the blocks or the storage that I want to use with me to do that. So go ahead and pop into a test world here real quick and take a look at what I've come up with. This is where we're trying to do is fit everything into this box here. So if we look, I've gotten one of every color in here. That's 16 boxes total. And then I have it filled out with a couple other things just to get an idea. I think having a stack of ender chests is a brilliant idea. Whether or not that's in here, I don't know. Then the sponges themselves are a very difficult thing to get. So once you get a hold of them, you kind of want to keep them in a safe spot where they cannot be blown up. And then along with that is also the diamonds. And then maybe a few other odds and ends that potentially I would be carrying in my ender chest. It gives you some room to do that. One of the things for me is always to have flint and steel on me, although you can get a hold of the stuff for it pretty easily. If you need it in a hurry, it really sucks. And then we go down the line, we have all of the shulker boxes. So the first one I put in was the goods. This is the iron, the gold, lapis, redstone, emeralds, and coal. And a basic idea of how things could fit in here, the stuff that we usually have extras of and still be able to carry them with us and have plenty on hand. Next was cobble. And aside from having the mossy stone, there would be no reason to have anything in here but cobble, and then you could make all of the different blocks from that. But I think I'm going to go ahead and put 3 of the mossy stone. So we're going to continue that idea with the smooth stone, have a thing of smooth stone, and again have the mossy stone bricks on the side. This means that, one, I don't have to worry about having a whole bunch of the vines growing or readily available, but 2, I can make them ahead of time and have them in there. And you'll see some repetition of that idea through here. Then we have the rocks, and the rocks can just be in their standard form, the granite, diorite, andesite, and I went ahead and threw the block quartz in here along with the picked quartz and the quartz block or ore block itself. Yes, I know this is another block, but I think that it fits in this particular box, and all of these things are something that tends to be used fairly sparingly, so I don't think we'll need a lot of them on hand at any time. Next one would be dirt, and in the dirt one we got majority of it being dirt. 3 stacks of gravel, 3 stacks of grass blocks, 3 stacks of mycelium, and 3 stacks of podzol. Podzol does not spread, so we could also do something like this and have 6 stacks of podzol, but mycelium and grass will only ever really need to have a little bit on hand simply because they can spread. Then we have the nether one, and we follow that same thought process of the nether rack being the majority of it. Soul sand, magma blocks, and nether wart. Now you'll notice that there's not glowstone in here, but I think that's for an important reason. I'll show you as we get to it why it isn't in here. Also with this one, the nether wart is important because you need that to create both the red nether brick and the nether wart blocks. So in its state like this, you can create all of those things. You can also create the nether bricks by just having a furnace on hand to smelt these. This tends to lean towards the most potential just from having the raw materials on hand. Then we have the end blocks, the end blocks, I put in the end stone, the purpur blocks, and obsidian. And that's usually the things you see in the end blocks. But I wanted to go ahead and add the prismarine blocks into here as well. I think it fits the best for this. In my mind, the end blocks also includes the end being one of the most difficult things, or the most difficult thing, in my opinion, in the game, is to defeat the water temples. They're pretty difficult, and at this point in time, there's no real easy way to figure out how to get through them faster, like the case is with the withers. You can do different things to make it much easier to get through it. Have sand box. This is 2 rows of regular sand and 1 of red, and that's self-explanatory in my opinion. The dyes, this one is a little bit interesting. We have all of these actual dyes, all of the dyes, 1 stack of them, and then 2 stacks of sunflowers, 2 stacks of rose bushes, 2 stacks of cacti, ink sacs, lapis. This is doubled up, keep that in mind from over there, but it makes sense. And then a whole bunch of bones. Now the idea behind this is these right here, if you have all of these things, you can make all of these dyes. So keeping these on hand as such allows you to do everything you need to do. It'll end up making it pretty easy and quick to add any dye we need to. Now, we had a sand box, but why we have a glass? Well, all that time that it takes to smelt all of that stuff up, and it's also used much more often than the sand or sandstone blocks anyway in building. So I figured just do a whole thing of clear glass, and we have the dyes right there. We can go ahead and make what we want out of that. Same goes for clay. Mostly hardened clay. Once we find a mesa biome, this is obvious to do it this direction, and then have 3 stacks of standard clay blocks. This allows you to make clay pots. It allows you to make the brick, stone brick, red brick blocks if you want to have some kind of a rustic feel or something like that. You really don't need anything other than these things, and you can make all of the different blocks that have to do with clay. Wool, on the other hand, is a problem. For some reason in the game, you still can't just surround a piece of dye and get all of them created. So that pretty much means we need to carry on hand a stack of each color of dyed wool, and then along with that, having a whole bunch of white wool, just in case we have to dye some extra. We'll have some on hand with our dye block or our dye box. And then I figured throwing the string in here made sense. You can use it for a lot of other things, but along with that, you can also make wool with it. So we move on to the next one, and that one is the wood box. 3 stacks of all the different kinds of logs, 1 stack of all of the corresponding saplings, and then we have the 2 different mushroom types. There is something else that can fit in here. We could add... More than likely, the way to go would be to add the vines. We could do apples, but I think vines would be the most useful because there's so many other things we can create with that block. And then we have the water blocks. We have regular ice or silk-touched ice. We have the packed ice, and then snow blocks. And if we wanted to do the extra kind of snow things, we can actually put these down. No, they don't break apart anymore. Or if they ever did, I don't think they did. It might be worth us to carry snow with us, or actually all we need is a jack-o'-lantern and we can make a snowman. So we should be okay because of the redstone box, which is a majority of redstone contraptions. So the exception of that is trap chests, although that's arguable. TNT, also arguable. And then the big one is slime blocks, but almost essential to some redstoning to have the slime block itself or slimed pistons. And then I went ahead and added in all the different lights we have in here. We have jack-o'-lanterns, we have glowstone, we have sea lanterns, and end rods. So now you see where these other things come in and why they were missing out of the other boxes. This is almost essential, though. These things are really cost effective, or cost expensive, and once you have them in stock, you don't ever have quite a lot of them. But they are essential to builds for lighting, so you don't have to use torches. My favorite, of course, is the jack-o'-lantern. Having them on hand and readily available to use in a build will be great. And then, of course, we have the last one, and that is the backpack or consumables. And this, I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. It might just be an extension to my backpack, and I can use it as I need, throwing stuff in it that I need specifically for a build or a new area or what have you. It's also an extension to the standard backpack, so if my inventory gets full, I have this to just throw stuff in, and it may just be one of those things that I leave as such. I haven't quite decided on that. I don't think I missed anything that is essential for building or important enough to have its own thing. Basically, with what we have here, we can pretty much make everything, and that was the idea. This will always be available to bring with me when I'm at my base, my home base, and at this point it will be the big mountain, the lonely mountain. I will have these set up with chests next to them that have the corresponding types of materials. But if we're going to go off to do a new build or see a new location or help somebody out, I can just throw all of these into my ender chest and go off with materials in hand and ready to go. So we'll get more on that as we figure out what to do with it, but that's going to call it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to get back to finishing off the skulls and the world, getting the whatchamacallit done, the nether hub completed, and I can work on maybe getting my personal pathway figured out and ghast proofed. That'd be a good thing to do. As usual, folks, thanks for watching. Don't forget that like and subscribe if you enjoy my videos, and I hope to see you next time where we continue to talk about things and life and stuff. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.